We're back with another round of your favorite class, but make it weird. Clerics are normally an acolyte of a holy god meant to spread their divine word and care for the troubled. But what if it wasn't? What if you strip away the religious robes and holy symbols and overall goody two-shoes attitude? This video is about the cleric, but what the cleric could be if we just reflavor it a bit. For example, what I like to call the scientist cleric reflavors your healing spells into magical concoctions or adrenaline syringes. You deal in chemicals to emit radiation, clockwork automatons for your spiritual weapon, or detonate a doomsday device when you use your divine intervention. Looks like it worked this time. Different from your artificer character with your healing spells and godly favors obviously, but flavored in a similar way. Here we changed nothing about the cleric and its mechanics, but explained it in a new and exciting way. So this will be the 2025 edition of the Better series that I did over 3 years ago, going through Barbarian and Bard and now Cleric. Make sure to subscribe and follow along for the rest. But the Scientist Cleric is just one of 10 new flavor concepts for your D&D 5.5 character. So let's get to the next one. It's about time. No, literally, your cleric rewinds time to heal your allies and speeds up time to blight your enemies. Perfect for the duality of your divine spark and channel divinity. The guidance and guiding bolt spells aid you at succeeding at skills and hits because you can peer momentarily into the future. Spells that include talking to your god or asking divine questions may be you peering even further into the future. When you eventually cast Wish at level 20, it's you changing the very future that you have seen, or came from, in a time traveler situation. Heck, you can even flavor your Turn Undead feature as them rewinding to before they approached you. Though Turn Undead is the cleric feature that bothers me so much. If you are a cleric of some plant or sea god, why not have the option to turn plant creatures or elementals instead of undead? I think it's silly that we are stuck with a single creature type, and I allow my players to change it at my table to whatever creature type they want to turn. I did a whole other video on why it's silly and how to change it, which you can check out in the cards. Anyways, that was a tangent. On to the next. Often going hand in hand with time travel is the multiverse, alternate realities where things are just slightly different. As a cleric who leans into this flavor, when an ally gets hurt, you tap into other multiverses where the ally did not get hurt, and you heal the injury. Who's to say if that injury appears on the alternate version or not? Your precognition and prophecy comes from looking into alternate realities and the choices that they made. Every spell you cast could come from a different plane of either order or chaos, from an alternate world bathed in radiation or fire. These clerics try to keep this world from the same fate, for the events that transpired in their home realm may have been their fault. Last video we went over reflavoring the bard with psychic abilities, and while telepathy, mind control, and telekinesis fit the bard better, a cleric's power leans more into precognition, remote viewing, and astral projection with spells like augury, scrying, or clairvoyance. Healing psychically is also an easy flavor, mind over matter. You can even really lean into the Cthulhu flavor and have all your magic come from a Lovecraftian god giving you this psychic power. And when the madness and the voices eventually win over, your divine interventions bring incomprehensible events. Or you can be simply a circus medium trying to gain a few bucks with fake tarot cards and a pulley system under their table. This cleric concept is in perfect harmony with the universe, tuning into cataclysmic events, cosmic phenomena, and subtle vibrations of the body. And only because I have been knee-deep in the Cosmere RPG recently, it's a lot like the listener race tuning their songs to the vibrations of the universe. You could be from the plane of harmony in D&D as well, the plane of Arcadia, home to the Sound Genasi, the player race that you can get in my Genie lore expansion video up here. But you can even lean into music itself. Healing an ally would be like reharmonizing with the energies or even the chakras of the body to a state of balance, where destructive spells come from more destructive frequencies. Their holy symbol might be a tuning fork or a resonant crystal. which actually reminds me of the Dufflock race from the Scorched Basin, an underground goblin-like race with transparent skin and a whole community based on music and communal resonance. This Dune and Mad Max style setting is the sponsor of today's video and is in its last few days on Kickstarter. With included vehicle, alchemy, and magic systems, you can play in 5e, Daggerheart, Call of Cthulhu, Plotweaver, or any other of your favorite TTRPGs. Enjoy the unforgiving weather, unique terrains of dunes, flats, canyons, and plateaus, apex desert worms, 5 factions from desert riders to futuristic Kai Dynasty, and much more. Homie and the Dude are making waves with their Scorched Basin and includes writers and collaborators such as Zach the Bold, Arlentric, Cinderblock Sally, the ADHDM, and much more. And they generously offer a full 50% commission to us creators, as they are truly trying to give back to the community. So use the link in the description below and you'll be supporting both me and amazing folks who worked at this project. You have only a couple days left, so back it now. Leaning into the creative side again, but instead of music, your cleric could be inspired by a variety of self-expression. Painting is one way to bring imagination to life, and whatever you paint becomes real. Painting over a wound magically heals it. You summon a spiritual weapon by painting it into the air. Your Bane spell looks like painted chains, and you paint a big target on someone as a guiding bolt to help your allies hit them. Very Harold and the Purple Crayon, if you know that movie. Taking inspiration from another nerddom, Fortnite, which me and my wife play all the time, the character Hope creates graffiti artwork that predicts future events, whether she understands them or not. An artistic precognition. So what kind of artistic expression would your cleric have? I love the idea of a cleric not being a cleric. In the case of the artifact, you are a vessel with a god or ancient power trapped inside. You may be a construct with a prison, a genie vessel, or sentient item trapped within your chest. You cannot live without it, and it cannot live without you. You are not beholden to any beliefs or revere any god. This is purely self-preservation as you draw from this source, or the source forcefully acts through you. It may even provide interesting story elements if you are meant to release the benevolent god inside, but that means destroying yourself in the process. Or you could simply be an inanimate object given life by a deity's hand, destined to be a key in the god's plan, which you may or may not want to be a part of. Your cleric is not a healer. Instead, you reflavor it as the arm of cosmic law. You are straight from the plane of Mechanist, and everything must have a balance. Healing your allies or punishing your enemies are simply restoring the reality to where it should be. I recently played a Rilmani character when I played with Sean Delver in his channel in a private Planescape adventure we did. Rilmani are creatures that live in the Outlands of Sigil that purely exist to balance good, evil, law, and chaos without bias. When one outweighs the other, they step in and tip the scales in the other direction. You can choose any alignment for your cleric, then flavor your power as attempts to tip the balance of the universe in that direction, or act as a Rilmani where that focus changes depending on the situation. This kind of cleric takes its inspiration from more druidic magics, whether it be taken from some beast lord or god, or attuning to nature itself. Your healing word is like a mother wolf licking the wounds of its pup, or your guiding bolt is a peregrine falcon that punches the enemy so hard it makes them easier to hit again. Your spiritual weapon takes the form of claws or fangs or a swarm of insects. Call upon nature itself with your divine intervention, conjuring a beast lord themselves as a celestial. You are a caretaker of nature and thus a caretaker of your friends. You can even be from the Beastlands as a Beast Genasi, which I also provide a race for in the video I mentioned before, a direct result of elemental primordial soup. Another excuse to make your cleric agnostic and not based on any god. The blood cleric purely practices blood magic to create supernatural effects. Healing is an easy one, but blood bending for your guiding bolt to make them easier to hit could be another reflavor. A generous DM might even let you switch radiant damage for necrotic instead. You use your own blood as fuel, or you take it from others. Each channel divinity or divine intervention is a bloodletting ritual. Summon deadly creatures and send deadly plagues in more of a culty way than a religious one. In order to make stories unique, interesting, and deeply personal, there really is so much that you can do with just reflavoring. Psionics, multiverses, paint, or blood, how would you represent the cleric class? Share your own inspiration in the comments below and subscribe to be alerted when I dive into druids next. Remember to check out the Scorched Basin Kickstarter before time runs out, and while you're there in the description, check out my entire collection of homebrew through my Patreon for just $5. Another excellent way to support this channel if you like the videos that I make. My family thanks you for all of the support that you send our way. Until next time, go out there and continue to make your worlds a better place. See ya.